y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Today's video is a little bit different because I am updating you finally on what I have been working on off camera on CALLA COVE 2.0, let's call it. So if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel as I put out new videos every single Wednesday and Friday. Also, we are almost to 50,000 subscribers. It absolutely blows my mind. Thank you so much for your support. And here we are at Resident Services. Just me, Buck, and good old KK Slider hanging out. As you can see, there's still a lot of empty space. Much of what you're going to be seeing today is a work in progress. However, if you like my flag, this is by Georgia, also known as Cozy Oak on Twitter, who does amazing custom design commissions. I think they are closed at the moment, but I'm going to link everything in the description box if you want to reach out her way for some amazing artwork. So let me show you kind of what I've been working on. This one build is right outside of the airport. It's teeny tiny, but I was really proud of it. I'm gonna do a lot of terraforming to build it up, but yeah. And then I wanted to give Resident Services its own entrance. I really wanted to glorify that area, so this is what I came up with, and I ended up really liking it. And my Nook's Cranny. It's not 100%. You can see there are some empty spots, but I really liked that feed and seed concept, so that's what we're running with. And then Able Sisters. Yeah, out of all of the in-game buildings, it's my least favorite, so I just yeeted it up onto a cliff and called it a day. This spot is actually right behind that airport entrance I was talking about earlier, and it's a cool viewpoint, but it's, again, not quite done. But it's a good start. Now, this is actually my favorite part of all of the builds I have done off camera so far, and that would be my sweet little villager neighborhood. This first house is Rowan's house. He's a jock villager. As you can see, he's working out right here. And I really like that little basketball court I put in his backyard. And then right next to him, this is Coco's house. I don't know if she's gonna stay on my island. That remains to be seen. But hey, she's a sweet normal villager with a cool exterior to her house, so she has a place to stay for now. And today we are going to do a speed build of my campsite area, or at least get a lot of it done. One thing that has really inspired me throughout these tours that I have been putting on my channel is seeing a lot of creators make their campsite more of a campgrounds with the kids' tents, with using standees to make campers or RVs. So yeah, I was inspired by that concept and I wanted mine to feel really woodsy as well. So that's the overall inspiration that we're running with today. But y'all know me, there's gonna be a lot of foliage, a lot of trees, a lot of bushes. You might also notice in my inventory how I do have a lot of bushes, but they're all different and they are all out of season. That is actually super intentional because if you don't know, the bushes in game, they will bloom seasonally with different colored flowers, but when they're out of season, they still have a very different colored leaves, different textured leaves, and they still look really cool all bunched together in the same area, even when their flowers are not blooming. So yeah, we're working on the campsite today, but other structures that I have yet to decorate include several villager yards, which we can talk about in a minute, then my own yard. I have no idea what I'm gonna do to my house. And then the museum. I do have a lot of terraforming in front of the museum, but it doesn't really serve as a museum entrance to me. So I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen there, but hey, if y'all have any ideas, suggestions, I love reading your comments about what you think I should build or what you're currently building. It all inspires me so much. Oh, speaking of inspiration, a lot of people have been asking me what my new island theme is. What am I going with as far as a concept? And to be honest, this one is going to be pretty basic. It's going to be pretty themeless, Katie core, if you will. No, in all seriousness, pretty much what I have decided is I am not going to pressure myself to build unless I'm feeling inspired or I'm just building something that makes my heart happy. And that could be anything. It could be a very forest core entrance. It could be a super cyberpunk cafe. It could be totally different across the board. All of that remains to be seen, but staying themeless truly has helped kind of reinvigorate my passion for the game. Whenever I restarted, it was so therapeutic enjoying those early moments, and Just having those sweet day-to-day pleasantries with going to Nooks, cataloging, trying to get hybrid flowers. So yes, I highly recommend restarting if you are experiencing some kind of Animal Crossing burnout. It at least worked for me so much, just taking those beginning moments so slowly and really treasuring them. And again, just building what makes you happy. You don't have to stick to any kind of rules or confines, and personally that's helped me so much, just fall in love with the game. Speaking of restarting, some of y'all might be wondering how I got all of these golden tools, how I already have a lot of hybrid flowers and bushes in my inventory. All of that I give so much credit to the amazing Discord server, the Peach Orchard. If you haven't already heard me talk about the Peach Orchard, it is a Discord server that is full of Animal Crossing players, lovers, and amazing people. They have a whole bunch of treasure islands, they do daily giveaways, they do raids, and there are plenty of channels where you can just meet other players, meet other friends. So huge shout out to the Peach Orchard. Y'all are amazing and I love each and every one of you so much. I'm gonna make sure to link their server invite in the description box so you can join as well. Just make sure that you are above the age of 13. Speaking of linking in the description box, if you are interested in any of these custom codes that I am using throughout this speed build, as per usual, I will make sure to put not only the codes in the description box, but also I will make sure to link to the creators' social media profiles if they're available, just to give proper credit where it's due. One thing that has been particularly fun for me this time around with my island has been playing with different flower combinations. I am typically not one to gravitate towards the black hybrid flowers. It's not really my style, but I think I've had a change of heart there. There is one specific combination that I have been absolutely loving, and that is somewhat throughout this build. It's the usage and combination of the black tulips, green mums, and the orange pansies. So you can see them right here. I also have the black cosmos right there and the orange cosmos. But yeah, I've really been loving those color combinations for some reason. It kind of gives a moody element to my flower arrangements. Whereas on my last island, I very much stuck to a theme of orange and green mums. Orange flowers, green mums, nothing else. Those were the confines in which I would make flower arrangements. But I like the black flowers now. I think they add a lot of depth and dimension to this island, especially in combination with the different bushes too. I think it all kind of works. One thing I am planning to do with this island is primarily keep the map as original as possible. So obviously I'm adding terraforming and I'm expanding rivers to make lakes. I'm slightly shifting rivers and cliffs so I can place inclines and bridges the direction I want them to go. But I'm gonna put a picture of my current map right during this speed build up on the screen. And so that way y'all can see kind of what I'm talking about here, how I really want the original integrity of the map to be pretty similar to how it was. But of course, I can't not terraform. I didn't want to do a no terraforming island. I just wanted to add and enhance. And then for villagers, since they are on your screen and you see them right now, let me know which ones you love and which ones you hate. I'm always so curious to know who is someone's favorite villager, who is someone's least favorite villager. So if any of those are on my personal lineup at the moment, let me know. I gotta be honest, I'm not totally sure that Raymond, Coco, and maybe Tangy will stay. But again, it all remains to be seen. Every time I meet a new villager, I end up falling in love with them and they can't ever leave. So yeah, I guess it all depends. But I do know that I want Adobe on my island at some point. Currently, my only cranky is Avery, and I really love him and his house. But the reason that I want Dobie is simply the dialogue between two crankies. I think it just makes the gameplay so much fun. But then when thinking about villagers and the villager lineup, of course now I have this neighborhood that I'm working on, so I need to think about what kind of yard that villager would have, what they wouldn't have, and a lot of that corresponds with the interior of their home, and that kind of showcases their personality or style preferences, if you will. But also the actual villager personality, like snooty, jock, normal, cranky, etc. So let me know your thoughts. I am all ears for ideas whenever it comes to villager yards, because especially with a neighborhood, I'm gonna have to really figure that out and make it all cohesive. Oh my goodness, y'all, this campsite sign that I'm placing right now, it gave me so much grief. I truly struggled with it throughout this entire build, and I knew I wanted it somewhere, but I guess I didn't realize how big it was. And anyway, it took quite some time for me to actually figure out exactly where I wanted it to go, where it made sense. And it's an item that I didn't use on my previous island, but I love seeing it on others' islands, so naturally I want to copy them and do that. But yeah, it gave me a lot of grief. And what you're seeing now is basically me creating this own little campsite entrance. I feel like I'm giving way too much power to the concept of entrances on all of my builds this time around. But for this one, I did want it to feel like you're walking into the woods. Into the woods. So yeah, that's why I am placing a little bit of pathing here. You'll see me fill in with some trees. And then it brings you to the campgrounds. One thing I have not done yet that I know I plan to do is use the standees to make a lot more buildings and structures. You know, it would be really nice to have a camper or an RV right here. So I definitely want to utilize that feature in the game a lot more this time around, because it had just come out when I released my last stream address, and I think I just threw up a camper van and that was it. But people have gotten so amazingly creative with the usage and design with standees, and I'm so inspired by them. I have been pinning them like crazy on Pinterest. Speaking of, I do have a specific Animal Crossing Pinterest account. I don't think I've ever really talked about it much on my YouTube channel, but you know what? I'm gonna link that in the description box. If you wanna follow me, I am pinning a whole bunch of stuff that inspires me for island design. So yeah, we can be friends there. One design tip that I have really been loving this time around as well is always keeping some weeds in my pocket, if you catch my drift. No, in all seriousness, I have been keeping a stack of weeds in my pocket because it makes it so easy to fill up small spaces around trees or bushes where you don't want actual items. And it solves the problem where you're not gonna have tree branches fall in that area, you're not gonna have fossils populate in that area, and it just makes it a whole lot easier where you don't have to put an item around every single aspect of every single place while still having the fear that something in the game is just going to spawn. All in all, I have been enjoying playing the game so much off camera. I have found it to be super therapeutic, just like it was when the game first came out and everyone was first jumping on board with Animal Crossing New Horizons. So that's been super nice, and thank you so much for letting me do that. With that said, if you do like videos like this and this kind of style of video, it's a bit different for my channel, but if you enjoy it, let a girl know. I'm open to all feedback. Oh my gosh, speaking of playing games off camera, I have been loving The Sims 4 Cottage Living. That's the Amazon man. Sorry about that, the Amazon man came and my dog always thinks that they are a burglar. But like I was saying, I've been loving The Sims 4 Cottage Living. I've always been a massive Sims fan. It's kind of my comfort game. And I have always kind of told myself that I don't want to make content regarding The Sims just because I enjoy playing it so much off camera and it's me time. I don't know. However, I'm not opposed to it either, so if you do want to see Sims content, I know tons of Animal Crossing creators are dabbling in that game. But again, I'm kind of neither here nor there with it, so if y'all want to see Sims content, I'm happy to make it. But if you're like, listen Katie, I watch you for island tours and really that's kind of my jam, then that's cool too, because again, that's my comfort off-camera game. Oh yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm showing my face in this video, which I have done before. I do have a camera whenever I do live streams, just not videos usually. And that still will be the case with island tours because I don't want to be blocking someone's beautiful island with my big ol' head. But with my island, I don't really care if I block it too much. So if you like this type of video and this editing format, let me know. I just figured I would try something different, you know, just give a little wave, let you know I'm a real human being. No, in all seriousness, it has been really fun playing with new technology and editing software, and I need to give y'all a huge thank you for being so patient with me this week. I was planning to put out this video on Wednesday, however, the technology gods were just not on my side and I was being way too stressed out, which is not going to benefit anybody. So I appreciate you letting me take the day off and just kind of breathe a little bit. So the campsite is very much coming to fruition here. I didn't really feel it got to 100% even at the end of the speed build, but of course things like those little blankets kind of help fill out the space. The dropped green leaves fill out the space a lot, which, by the way, I love the green leaf pile. I love all of the leaf piles. They're easily one of my favorite items in the game, but oh my goodness, they drive me crazy every time I try and place them. I'm sure many of you can relate to that, but I wish you could just suit them like you could furniture, but you cannot. And same thing goes for the floor lights. I didn't use them in this build, but if you know what I'm talking about, it's a similar concept where you place it, and that's where it will be. You can't really scoot it like you can other furniture. Also, let me just say, I don't know what we did before the Mario pipes existed. I edited it out of this speed build, but I went back and forth between my home storage and this build so much. And it is just so handy having one Mario pipe right there and then having the other one just in your living room. And here is what we ended up with for the campsite. I did a little bit of time traveling to get a villager in there. I think it was Dora? But yeah, I wanted to see what everything looked like when the tent was there, and I was pretty satisfied with what we ended up with. As you can see, that right cliff is not decorated because that actually leads to my secret beach, and it's pretty close to my house as well, so I wanted to leave that as a blank canvas. But I think we have a pretty good start here. I'm gonna fill it out a little bit more once I feel like picking up my Switch again, let's be honest. But anyway, thank you so much again for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you're having an incredible day wherever you are in the world, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.